What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Realistic Rumour. This is episode number 35, and it's the first episode of season 3 with Nottingham Forest. And as we look at the Premier League table, you'll see that it is Bournemouth, Southampton, and Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and West Brom who have been promoted from the Championship. Bournemouth and Palace making a return, whilst West Brom will feature in this save for the first time. We have a look for the first time at our budget, and it is mega. As you'll know, in the last episode, we finished in the top 4. We secured Champions League football. And the board have backed us massively. £140 million to spend. Wowee woozah. I cannot wait for this episode. There's going to be a transfer special as we look to bolster the squad and improve it before the season starts. Well, a few notifications to go through straight away. A couple of the young players leaving on loan for Forster and Todd, whilst Kouyaté leaves on a free to Southampton. Ndombele also arrives as well. Very happy to have him in the squad. And then we reject an early bid for Taiwo Awoniyi from our rivals, Leicester City. £52 million, I think that was. I get the feeling that won't be the last bid we get for Awoniyi in this summer window. As we go through the squads, quite a few contracts running out at the end of the season, a lot of players who just aren't good enough for this team, so we're going to have a lot of decisions to make for sure as we look at Tanguy. The low defensive work rates concerns me a little bit. Maybe that's something we can work on, but 27 years old, he's still got a lot of life in his legs, and I'm very, very excited to have him in the squad. Obviously, he's got plenty of Premier League, Ligue 1, Serie A experience, as well as UCL experience as well, which is absolutely massive. Two of our bigger players as well, Brereton Diaz and Johnson, coming back from long-term injuries, so very happy to have them. We'll have had them back in the squad, and this is how the team would look if the season were to start without making any transfers. And you'll just see it's just not good enough for the Champions League. There's a few positions I want to improve on. A CDM mainly, a left back, a striker, centre back, and a right back, I think, for depth. Obviously, we brought in Ndombele already, great addition, but just overall, the team is not good enough to be competing in the Champions League and to finish in a top 4 spot again, which is what the board want us to do. So we're going to have to make some changes. Lascelles, Bianco, O'Brien, Gibbs White, Konate, and Mineton all put up for sale. And you would have heard in there, Gibbs White as well. Not one, maybe was expected to sell, but I haven't been too impressed with Morgan. And I think we can get a decent fee for the young English attacker. As the bids start coming in, we'll reject one from Fiorentina for Lewis O'Brien. As the players basically come to me and they say, look, we're happy to leave. The players just aren't good enough for the team. We want to obviously be moving forward, and we want them to have first team football. So it's just best for everyone's interests that they move on. We do accept a bid just shy of £8 million from Dutch side Utrecht for Bianco, and the French centre back hasn't featured for us at all. He went out on loan to Wolves amongst some other teams over the last couple of seasons. So yeah, we'll be selling him on. A nice little fee for him there as we look to make our first official addition. Obviously, Ndombele brought in on a pre-contract, our first edition of this window. And it will be a free agent once again, 2 free agents. It doesn't matter how big your budget is. Always look at the free agents because there will be gems in there. And I believe we've just snagged one. Mats Hummels, the German international. He may be 35 now, but he's still got a good year or so left in him, I reckon. We've given him a year contract. He's been released by Chelsea, and we brought him in on a free. Very happy with this signing. Champions League experience. You'll see the theme here. We want to improve the squad. We want the good depth, and I think he'll be a great addition to the squad. Experience at all the highest levels of football. He's won it all, and yeah, great addition to the side there. The second addition I wanted to make was Rui Patricio as a backup goalkeeper. I saw he was on a free, the former Wolves and Roma shot stopper. Butland is only 72 rated, and that's just not good enough as a backup goalie. But we offered Patricio a backup role, and he wasn't happy with it. So unfortunately, those negotiations broke down. As we look to spend our first bit of money this summer, and I wanted to bring in a DM, and I was torn between Calvin Phillips and Yves Bissouma. I was keeping an eye on their stats last season, and neither of them made more than 10 appearances for their side. So I think we could definitely prize away one of the players with an offer of constant first team football. I elected to go for Calvin Phillips as he's just more of a ball winner. His defensive stats are brilliant, and I need that sort of anchor in front of my midfield. This was interesting though. Pep Guardiola, so we offered I think like 30 million. Pep Guardiola said, look, give us 12 million plus Benjamin Farmer. He wanted our youth academy graduate. And if Pep is wanting Farmer, then that gives me good signals that Farmer is a good player. I said no. We offered a 35 million flat fee, and Guardiola accepted it, and Calvin Phillips will be making the trip to Nottingham. He signed a 3-year deal, and he was on half the wage that he's on at City, so very happy with that. And then for some reason, he wanted a bonus of 3.5 million if he scored 25 goals this season. Not quite sure he's going to be scoring 25 goals from central defensive mid, but maybe he's been watching the team and seen the amount of goals that we get from all over the pitch. Maybe he fancies it, who knows? So keep an eye out for Phillips for a goal this season. But yeah, very, very happy with this first big signing. 84 rated, I think he is as well. So what an improvement on Mangala for that DM role. Honestly, watch us concede less chances and less goals now. I really think he's going to be a brilliant addition to the side. So yeah, welcome Calvin Phillips. As we reject a couple of offers here, Tottenham coming in big. Viktor Syankov, they bid almost 40 million for the Ukrainian, but we said no. We reject a bid from Atalanta for Morgan Gibbs-White, as Bianco's move to Utrecht is confirmed. So nice bit of money made back there. We reject a bid from Monaco for Alexis Vega, and then an interesting one, this. Atletico Madrid coming in for Matty Cash. Now, I'm not a massive fan of Cash, and I wouldn't be against seeing him go, but for now, I rejected it. Madrid, obviously known for bringing in Prem right-backs in recent times. Kieran Trippier and Matt Doherty come to mind. But yeah, that was an interesting one. We rejected it, but as Wolfsburg coming in for Reece Nelson, again, someone who wasn't put on the transfer list, but I don't think someone that will get big game time this season. And so I thought, look, let's sit down and see if we can strike up a deal. They offered a player plus cash. I just said I want 17 million. And they said yes, actually, which was quite surprising considering that was some way over his budget. I think 4 million over his valuation. So Wolfsburg said yes, and he's had a loan spell at Hoffenheim, so he has Bundesliga experience. And it looks like Reece Nelson's on his way to the Bundesliga. And sticking with the Bundesliga, actually, we accepted a bid from Mainz for Jamal Lascelles. The centre-back will be heading to Germany. As we look to make our second bit of business in this transfer window, another big money deal. Alexander Isak. Yes, I wanted to bring in another top-class striker. Brennan Johnson, I know he's been class, but he's only 77 rated and he's had 2 major injuries, so I can't really afford to lose him again and rely on Brereton Diaz. And yes, I know those two have been brilliant for us in these 2 seasons, but we are now in the Champions League. We're now competing for top 4. We have to raise our levels and compete. And I think Alexander Isak will bring that. He's 85 rated, 24 years old. The Swede just has it all. He has pace, power, height. He has that finishing ability, and he just oozes confidence as well. I love Isak as a player. When you watch him for Newcastle, he's just a quality player. You can just tell he's a baller. So, we ended up offering Reece Nelson plus 50 million. I know we accepted the bid from Wolfsburg for Nelson, but he was of more value to us in this deal. So sorry, Wolfsburg, but Nelson's going to be staying in England and going to Newcastle. We're going to be bringing in Isak. He is going to be our second big signing of the window. 50 million plus Reece Nelson. Very happy with this. We basically paid 50 million for him because we got Reece Nelson on a free. Very happy with that deal indeed. Isak and Phillips come into the squad, and all of a sudden, the team is looking a lot better. As we look at the board's objectives for the season, by the way, up to 91 rated already. They wanted us to sign 3 players from Europe, which we have done. They also want us to score in 10 separate home games this season. I don't think that will be an issue. They did want us to have 4 youth players playing 20 games over 2 seasons, which it will be a bit of a tough ask with us now in the Champions League. We don't really have many games where we can afford to rotate much, apart from the Carabao Cup and maybe early rounds of the FA Cup. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. They want us to finish in a top 4 spot again. So, it might have been a fluke last season, but we need to make it consistent now. And they want us to reach the quarterfinals of the Champions League this season. So, they might have given us a big budget, but also big demands. I'm feeling the pressure already. As we make a couple of number changes, Isak goes to a number 11 and Hummel's number 4. Mainton's move to NEC is confirmed, so he is going to the Eredivisie. We have 50 million left in the budget as Lascelles gets his move confirmed as well. Yeah, 50 million in the budget. I think that we've spent well, but we're also getting rid of fringe players as well, so I'm happy with that. We're making money, we're not just selling money, although the game thinks we could have got a better deal on Jamal Lascelles there. We reject a bid from Napoli. They came in for Niakate, an interesting one. Obviously a starter for us at the back, not looking to sell him at all. And then another centre-back bid, Granada coming in for Bella Kotchap. And I did consider this because I really like the young German, but he's just not getting much game time, and so his development is stalling a little bit. I did reject the offer, but what do you guys think? Do you think I should maybe put him out on loan? I like the idea of having two centre-back backups with so him and Hummels, but maybe we need to send him on loan to help develop, because there's no doubt he's a quality player. As we do accept a bid for Gibbs White from Real Betis. They bid 12.7. We actually asked for 16.5 and they accepted that straight, like flat out. So nice little bit of money made there on Gibbs White. Again, he just hasn't cut it for us in the Prem. He's had good moments, but I just don't think he'll be good a UCL quality. So happy to move on Gibbs White. Hopefully he'll get a bit of first team football in La Liga. And we add some money to the budget. And you would have seen there as well, we rejected a whopping £65.2 million bid from Valencia for Taiwo Awoniyi. A big offer coming in from them. I don't think it's going to be the last one. We rejected it. And so now it's time to go shopping once more. And I wanted to upgrade our left back position. Once again, I like Perot, but he's just not Champions League quality, and that is what I needed. Now, I know you guys know there has been one player on my transfer list since season one ended. A player we wanted to bring back to the City ground who smashed it whilst he was on loan here. The left back, Renan Lodi from Atletico Madrid. He was also so pricey and it didn't make sense for him to downgrade, but now we're in the Champions League. I think he wants to return to England. I want him to as well. And you would have seen as well in the offer, we rejected that bid from Atletico Madrid for Matty Cash earlier in the episode. And this is why, because I wanted to include him in a deal for Lodi. I just needed to make it work, needed to move some cogs, but now it could work. I sat down with Simeone, I said, look, I know you want Matty Cash, so have him plus a bit of cash. Oh God, I'm so funny. £55 million plus Matty Cash, and we secure the services of Renan Lodi. He is back at the City ground, and I love that Isaac and Phillips are the players welcoming there as he does his fitness tests. What a trio of signings that is, by the way. Absolutely love it. Renan Lodi, welcome back to the City ground. Yeah, it is quite a lot of money to pay for a left back, but my fullbacks, I love them getting involved in the play. Nico Williams does it so well on the right hand side, and Lodi, we saw in the first season how he attacks. He is brilliant going forward. He was playing in a left wing back role, so it will be a bit more defensive this time, but I still think he is a great addition. And of course, it felt only right to give him the number 32 shirt as well, the shirt he wore in the first season with us. So Renan Lodi comes in, Matty Cash goes out, and we're now kind of short in the right back position. Only Lyndon Gooch and Nico Williams to cover the right back. So we go into the youth academy, we promote a couple of players that can play that position and send them out on loan. Hopefully we can fill that spot organically and internally from the club rather than having to spend money. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on their development. But I think for now, Williams will do okay. We might have to maybe bring in a rotation right back, but we'll keep an eye on that situation. We changed Ndombele to a number 23, which is the number he wore at Spurs. I just felt like this sort of felt right for him to be that number. And then put a couple more players on the transfer list. Players, again, I didn't expect to sell at the start of this episode. Mangala, the centre mid, and Jesse Lingard, the central attacking mid. Mangala now, he's lost his spot to Phillips. As a substitute DM, he may be lower rated, but I actually really like Ryan Yates. When he came on last season, he was so good defensively. His tackling stats are really good. So I think I would rather have him on the bench than Mangala. So I was happy to let Mangala go. And then Jesse Lingard, 31 now. I think, again, he's just not going to get much game time with the players we're bringing in. So we put him up for transfer, which he was shocked but not unhappy about. And then a huge bid. Barcelona. We knew a big club would be coming in for Taiwo, and they have Barcelona. Xavi came in for our Nigerian striker. This one annoyed me though. I mean, I was prepared to let him go, but I wasn't going to get rolled over. You know, they came in with a £50 million bid. I said, look, he is the Golden Boot winner. He had 50 goal contributions last season in the Premier League alone. He is worth 80 million. Yes, okay, he might be worth a little bit less, but, you know, I thought we'd meet in the middle. And they only counted 3 million more to like 53 million. I just thought that's ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to budge. I'll go down to like 80 million, or like 75 million. But yeah, they weren't budging, so we rejected it. Again, I'm not just going to block off offers for our best players. You know, we're still an improving team, and Barcelona are obviously elite, so we will have to listen to those offers. But I'm not just going to roll over as well with the fee. I wanted to get what he's worth, and I think he's worth a lot more than what they're offering. A couple transfers that we missed. Jesse Lingard, really, really happy with this one actually. After we put him up for transfer, West Ham came in for him. You would have remembered a few years ago, he had a really successful loan spell with the Hammers. So happy to see him going back, and we managed to improve the fee that they offered as well. Mangala, we accept a bid from Atalanta for him, so he is on his way, and we negotiate a deal for O'Brien to go to Marseille. So some more sales. The budget is going up as we're spending money as well. I think we've made about 45 million pounds on player sales, and we've just, you know, and we also made about 50 million. If you look at it, we saved about 50 million in offering Nelson and Cash as part of player plus cash deals. So I think we've done really well in selling the fat of the team, you know, players that aren't going to play in this squad next season. And we've made some good money. And then a final offer from for Benjamin Farmer from Sporting Lisbon. I'll be honest, I thought about this one for a second, because as good as he is, I don't know where his best position is, and I just haven't seen him flourish yet. But if Pep Guardiola wants this player, he must be good. So we reject the offer. He's staying with the club, and he will remain a Forest star. I'm sure he will be a star in the future. I know it. But that will be it for today's transfer special episode 35. We'll get going in the season in the next episode, but we had to improve this squad so it could compete on a Champions League level, and I think we are definitely getting there. Let me know what you thought of the transfers in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the players I sold as well. Should I sell some more? Should I not have sold some players? But as always, if you're enjoying the series, drop it a follow. If you haven't already subbed to the channel, massively appreciate all of your support. I'll catch you in episode 36 very soon. Have a wonderful day. Peace.